The complete works of Swami Vivekananda, the common basis of Hinduism, Part 4. It seems that these few points are common among all the various religious sects in India, and perhaps in future, upon this common platform, conservative and liberal religionists, old type and new type, may shake bands. Above all, there is another thing to remember, which I am sorry we forget from time to time, that religion in India means realization and nothing short of that. Believe in the doctrine and you are safe can never be taught to us, for we do not believe in that. You are what you make yourselves. You are by the grace of God and your own exertions what you are. Mere believing in certain theories and doctrines will not help you much. The mighty word that came out of the sky of spirituality in India was Anubhuti, realization, and ours are the only books which can declare again and again, the Lord is to be seen. Bold, brave words indeed, but true to their very core. Every sound, every vibration is true. Religion is to be realized, not only heard. It is not in learning some doctrine like a parrot, neither is it in mere intellectual asset. That is nothing. But it must come into us. And therefore, the greatest proof that we have on the existence of God is not because our reason says so, but because God has been seen by the ancients as well as by the moderns. We believe in the soul not only because there are good reasons to prove its existence, but above all because there have been many in the past thousands of in India. There may still be many who have realized, and there will be thousands in the future who will realize and see their own souls. And there is no salvation for man until he sees God, realizes his own soul. Therefore, above all, let us understand this. And the more we understand it, the less we shall have of sectarianism in India. For it is only that man who has realized God and seen Him who is religious. In him the knots have been cut asunder. In him alone the doubts have subsided. He alone has become free from the fruits of action, who has seen Him who is the nearest of near and the furthest of far. We often make mistake and mere prattle for the religious truth. Mere intellectual perorations for the great spiritual realization. And then comes sectarianism. Then comes fight. If we once understand that this realization is the only religion, we shall look into our own hearts and find how far we are towards realizing the truths of religion. Then we shall understand that we are ourselves groping in darkness and are leading others to grope in the same darkness. Then we shall cease from sectarianism, quarrel, arid fight. Ask a man who wants to start a sectarian fight, have you seen God? Have you seen the Atma? If you have not, what right you have to preach His name when you are walking in darkness and trying to lead me into the same darkness? The blind leading the blind and both falling into the ditch. Therefore, take more thought before you go and find fault with others. Let them follow their own path to realization, so long as they struggle to see truth in their own hearts. And when the broad, naked truth will be seen, then they will find that wonderful blissfulness which marvelously enough has been testified to by every seer in India, by everyone who has realized the truth. Then words of love alone will come out of that heart, for it has already been touched by Him who is the essence of love Himself. Then and then alone all sectarianism, quarrels will cease, and we shall be in a position to understand, to bring into our hearts, to embrace, to intensely love the very word Hindu and everyone who bears that name. Mark me. Then and then alone you are a Hindu when the very name sends you through a galvanic shock of strength Then and then alone are you a Hindu. When every man who bears the name from any country speaks our language or any other language and becomes at once the nearest and the dearest to you. Then and then alone you are a Hindu when the distress of anyone bearing that name comes to your heart and makes you feel as if your own son was in distress. Then and then alone you are a Hindu when you will be ready to bear everything for them. Like the greatest example which I have quoted to you at the beginning of this lecture of your great Guru Gobind Singh. Driven out from this country, fighting against its oppressors, after having shed his own blood for the defense of the Hindu religion, after having seen his children being killed on the battlefield, this example of the great Guru, left even by those for the sake he was shedding his blood and the blood of his own nearest and dearest, he, the wounded lion, retired from the field calmly to die in the south, but not a word of curse escaped his lips against those who had ungratefully forsaken him. Mark me, every one of you will have to be a Gobind Singh if you want to do good to your country. You may see thousands of defects in your countrymen, but mark their Hindu blood. They are the first gods you will have to worship, even if they do everything to hurt you. Even if every one of them sent out a curse, you send out to them words of love. If they drive you out, retire to die in silence like that mighty lion, Gobind Singh. Such a man is worthy of the name of Hindus. Such an ideal ought to be before us always. All our hatchets let us bury. Send out this grand current of love all round. Let them talk of India's regeneration as they like. Let me tell you, as one who has been working, at least trying to work all his life, that there is no regeneration for India until you be spiritual. Not only so, but upon it depends the welfare of the whole world. For I must tell you frankly that the very foundations of the Western civilization have been shaken to their base. The mightiest buildings, if built upon the loose sands foundations of materialism, must come to grief one day, must totter to their destruction someday. The history of the world is our witness. Nation after nation has arisen and based its greatness upon materialism, declaring man was all matter. In Western language, a man gives up the ghost, but in our language, a man gives up his body. The Western man is a body first, and then he has a soul. With us, a man is a soul and a spirit, and he has a body. Therein lies a world of difference. All such civilizations, therefore, as have been based upon such sand foundations as material comfort and all that, have disappeared one after another after short lives from the face of the world. But the civilization of India and other nations that have stood at India's feet to listen and to learn, namely Japan and China, live even to the present day, and there are signs even of revival among them. Their lives are like that of the phoenix, 1,000 times destroyed, but ready to spring up again more glorious. But a materialistic civilization once dashed down never can come up again. That building, once thrown down, is broken to pieces once and for all. Therefore, have patience and wait. The future is in store for us.